Well, hello everywhere. Hi, Catherine. You're here. First one here. Woohoo! How are you today? I am live on a Thursday night. Thought I would try something new. So I hope everyone's doing all right this evening. I'm excited about being here. Hi, Debbie Sue. So, got two in the live. Yay! How are you, Debbie Sue? Hi, Pam. Just ask Pam. There's Cheryl, my sister Cheryl. We get more people get us confused, Cheryl. It is almost humorous to me that happens. Happened this morning in a live. Oh, I know. I was watching Mrs. G and I had scheduled this and I thought, oh, Mrs. G's going live. Anyway, but I got to do what I have to do for me. And I love Mrs. G, and she has great lives. I just enjoy her lives. So, but I wanted to kind of get back to doing my lives and that where I had a topic and we talked about stuff because it was suggested to me that someone really liked it when I did these. So I am going to try a new schedule, see how it works. I'm not as tired on Thursdays when I get home from my day of working with clients. And so I thought that Tuesdays and Thursdays, maybe about this time, would be a good time to try a live. So, do I want my time slot back? On Wednesdays, I have a conflict every other Wednesday because I thought about moving it up to earlier, but it doesn't work. So no. And then Scott has his live, and some of our community overlaps. So I just and I like to hop onto his live for a little while. But no, Catherine, thank you for the offer. But I'm just going to continue to do what I can, and it'll work out or it won't. And if it don't, I can go back to 7 o'clock on Wednesdays and just do what I need to do. So, all right, Catherine. It's considerate that we consider other people's lives that are in our communities, but you get to a point, your community gets so big that there's no way to get around it. So it's Thursday evening. This is like the start to my weekend because I don't work outside of the home on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. But that's kind of when I do some of my YouTube stuff. I've been doing YouTube every day for the last week. In the last 2 days, I have actually made content because it worked well for me during the detox. So I have 2 videos I've made, and then I love Tracy with an IE. She does a monthly recap, and I love watching those. So I actually did a July recap, which is going to come out. So, hey, Gary, what's up? What's up? I'm doing a live. I'm trying to get those watch time hours. I've kind of got a plan, and I want to try to get those. I know for the next 2 months, if I have quite a few hours coming off, so I'm just trying to hold my own, and that because my views dropped off in October last year. I mean, just bottomed out. I didn't change anything or do anything different, and they just beep. So I do know there's an opportunity, like toward the end of this year, to really get my watch time hours. And so everyone's saying hello to each other. Hi, Miss M. Welcome in. Welcome in. So Gary's saying, you get it, girl. I'm going to get it. I'm determined. So it's just a goal I have that I know, Gary. I learned that Tuesday morning, first thing, and it was like, oh wow, man. So, hello, a simple happy life. Hello, hello. Welcome in. So, Pam is buffering issues. I have not. Did I see your comment? Which one, Cheryl? Oh, on my last video? I don't remember. So, a simple happy life. Hello. What's your first name? I try to write people's names down when their name is not part of their handle, as I call it. I don't know what we call those, but Catherine. Hello. Simple Happy Life said hello to Catherine. Cheryl said no above before Gary was talking to everyone. All right, Cheryl. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? You have, okay, the one about I got you here on this channel and visited you on the other channel. Is that the one? Oh, no. Oh, I saw that. Yes, I watched Cynthia's video last night. She was so cute in her little workout clothes and bouncing on her rebounder. Yes, she mentioned you and I both. I thought that was very nice. Yeah, yeah. So Gary, YouTube Police 29 said, and they won't be paying for shorts unless you have 10 million views in the last 90 days. I saw that too. That's some things are changing. Yes. Yeah. So it's going to make it a little harder for people to. I don't. Does anyone know their reasoning for doing that? I mean, to make it harder to be monetized. Is it because YouTube's gotten so big? What's the deal, Pickle? It is the principle of the thing. Well, I made a commitment and I wanted to get monetized, and I've worked toward that. And it's just a goal to achieve. And yeah, I mean, um, it isn't about the money because I figured it out. It's just not that good. It's just a goal for me. And Cheryl said, that's what I think. YouTube has gotten so big and they want serious people who will make them money. Yeah, Debbie Sue said, good to see you, YouTube Police 29. So, and YouTube Police said, thanks, Debbie Sue. So, how are y'all about keeping commitments to yourself? It's a very important thing. I think that it's something that I have certainly had to work on and learn how to do. Gary said, I'm not great about it. A lot of people aren't, but they'll make a commitment to someone else and they'll keep it. I mean, they'll keep it, but then they'll make a commitment to themselves and not keep it. And so, it's like, so do you do that or do you self-sabotage? It's just like this eating plan, the 10-day detox, and how I did that before and I felt really good and I stayed on it. I ate like that for a good 6 months, felt great, did great, and then gradually went back to some old patterns. Not all of them, but enough that it affected me. So YouTube Police says, I figure I'm too unappreciative of myself. So, hi Roxanne. How are you? Miss M said, I don't keep my commitments for myself at all. Catherine said, reinventing. And that's what it is. It's, that's one of the things that when I work with people, that I tell them, when you make a commitment to yourself, keep it. It builds self-esteem. And Cheryl said, keeping commitments to yourself is about loving yourself. It is. It is exactly, Cheryl. And yet it's so easy. A lot of people talk about self-sabotage, but it's humanly, we want to live in our comfort zone. And to usually, when you decide, the power of a decision, you make a decision, then you do it. I know that there's a lot of creators and a lot of people that talk about intentions, but I was told intentions were just followed up with more intentions, but a decision is followed up with action. And I really I understand the way that they're using in set your intentions for the week. Well, if I set my commitments, decide for the week, in little commitments, what I think happens, what I think causes self sabotage is that you set yourself up for failure by making too big of a commitment. Like, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week for an hour and a half, and I myself can't do that. I know I can't do that. So Gary said, my self-esteem don't need no help. Maybe that's why I don't pay attention to my own commitments to myself. We may not have a lot of self-confidence. How's your self-worth? If you're worth it, you're going to set a commitment and stick to it. I'm too vain. All right. So that's that other side. That's not self-esteem, Gary. That's ego. So, oh, hi, CL. How are you doing this evening? Oh, Gary said, I'm just a pretty face that's here to take the blame. Will you do that? Just ask Pam said, I have committed to do my lives on Sunday afternoon at 3, and so far I have kept it. Yay. And that's great. I love your lives at 3 o'clock. I've been hopping on those. They're good. And I think that someone had mentioned that I needed to do my lives again where I had a topic. They really loved those. And so I watched yours on Sunday and I thought, yeah, yeah, okay. I hear you, God. I hear you. Hi, Kelly. Welcome in. Welcome in. When do you go back to work? School has started here today. So, Simply Debbie Sue said, when you keep commitments to yourself, it's like you're trusting yourself, but self sabotage is like not feeling safe yet. That is the way it is for me anyway. Yeah, yeah. And that's that comfort zone. You feel safer in what you're comfortable with. And, for me, it's easier to eat the comfort food and the carbs than it is to eat the whole food, to reach for nuts or those sort of things. And then I messed up at the grocery store. The yogurt I always buy the vanilla, and somehow I got the plain, and I fixed up my snack for today. And I thought, oh, this is terrible. What happened? So I got home and I looked at my yogurt and I bought the plain, and it's terrible. I always buy the vanilla, and I don't know how that happened. So I had to eat. I always keep it's a very low in sugar protein bar, but it does have 25 carbs, which is a lot at one setting. But I knew that if I didn't eat it, that I would be hangry. That's so true, Pam. She said, isn't it wonderful when God uses us to help each other? Yes, especially if we're open to that guidance. And, I thank God for his guidance and his wisdom every day, because I certainly need it. Catherine said, Pam, I never get notifications on your live. I'll check. Gary said, I'm at work, obviously. You go back on Monday, Kelly? That's great. Well, but still, hangry, Pam. I love that word, hangry, LOL. Well, yeah, I do. I get irritable, restless, and discontent. Oh, praise God. You're right. Miss M said, random question, but does anyone in the chat is a nurse or was one? I have a question. I don't know. I'm not a nurse. I don't know anything about nursing. Well, so if Senior Insights, Miss Cynthia shows up, she was a nurse. We'll see if she shows up. Sometimes she does in my lives. So, YouTube police. No, but I stayed in a Holiday Inn Express last night. Shoot, Miss M. What does that have to do with it? Just ask Pam. I do natural stuff. What is the question? Yeah, we're wanting to know what the question is, Miss M. I mean, I worked in mental health, but I worked in a facility and had to work real close with an RN about a lot of stuff. Those clients would have a lot of stuff. I don't know, but you throw out the question. I obviously don't remember the commercial. No, sir, I think I don't. Cheryl said, sometimes we're fighting against ourselves instead of allowing God to move us forward. Yeah, and I think for me, I have to seek divine inspiration and divine ideas and that sort of thing. So just ask Pam, said Miss M, I am a CNC and studied naturopathy. Naturopathy. Is that right? Am I pronouncing that right, Pam? Miss M, if you have pain and it's getting worse and you have a fever, should I go to the emergency room? Just ask Pam. I don't want it if God isn't in it. Close. I was close. Naturopathy. So Catherine said, oh, Pam, I put notification on all. I'm all about natural stuff. Yes. Just as Pam said, pain, where, Miss M? I know she's been struggling with her gallbladder. Naturopathy. Okay. Thanks for the clarification, Miss Bab. Oh, YouTube, please. What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, Miss M? Are you crying? So throw an all in the middle. All right. I give up. All right, Pam, on your live on Sunday, you're going to pronounce it for me. It's a dull ache. It's about a 6. Okay. Naturopathy. So Miss M said it's a dull ache. It's about a 6. Where is it located? On your body. All together now. 1, 2, 3. So what are some commitments y'all have made? Small commitments. You know, some of the things that I have worked on is I kind of have several things that I commit to, and that's, to take my supplements, to work, to do some sort of moving my body every day, which I've been rebounding, and to do strength training 2 to 3 times a week. And those are my main, commitments. So Miss Sims said it starts at my gallbladder and goes across my upper stomach and my chest hurts. You two, please said, go to the doctor, Miss M. Catherine said, I made a commitment to lose weight, go to the gym. I'm doing pretty well, I'd say. I think you are too, Catherine. And your blood pressure, that was awesome. Catherine sent me a text and had her blood pressure on it. It was really good. So Pam said, yes, Miss M. If there's a fever and pain, I would. I think I agree with Pam. I mean, you know, Gary says, go to the doctor, not the gym. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Miss M said, keep going, Catherine. Teacher Kelly, exercise, cardio, strength training, or yoga 3 to 5 times a week. I try to eat healthy most of the time too. Yeah, I have done pretty well until today. I ate quite a few more carbs than I like to eat when I'm on the uh, on Dr. Hyman's eating plan. So Catherine said, Emily, you did something to aggravate your gallbladder. I did it before I had mine out. I would do that every once in a while. And I had cut out the fried food and the heavy stuff and all of that. And I'd still every once in a while have an attack until I got mine out. So YouTube police said, at times I feel my references are lost. Mm-hmm. Catherine, fried food was it for me? Well, Catherine, I was eating keto when I had mine, so I wasn't eating any fried foods, but they were a little heavier in fats and stuff. So I think that's kind of what set mine off. But, don't have that problem now. Let me see them. I was bad and had fries yesterday. Yep, that will certainly do it. But the fever is, you know, kind of a little alarm. So, of course, I know you went to the doctor, and I don't know if your gallbladder is inflamed or whatever that might be. Um, wow, Pam. Pam said I did a gallbladder cleanse after I had my gallbladder out. I wish I'd known before, but I cleansed out about 100 stones. Catherine said, sounds like stones are multiplying. Miss M said, wow, Pam. They were in the ducts. I had sludge in mine. That's what they said. I had a sludge in my gallbladder, whatever that means. Catherine said, I tried that, Pam, didn't work for me. Well, I didn't know a lot about naturopathy type stuff at that time when I had mine out. Miss M said, I have an MRI scheduled for next week. Yeah, I'm hoping that you get that taken care of soon. You've been, seems like a long time messing. Miss M, sorry I didn't mean to get everyone off topic. Do not apologize. It is just fine. My lives go where my lives lead. And we can always come back to the topic. See, I'll show you how. So what do y'all do to sabotage? I think today wasn't necessarily a sabotage. It was a slight of error that I will not do again. I don't even know if I can eat that yogurt. So, YouTube, please, when Tammy got sick years ago, they thought it might be her gallbladder, so they took it out. It did not fix the problem. It took them a year to figure out she has Addison's. Okay, I don't know what that is, Gary. And so Yeah, and sometimes, I mean, it does. Um, Catherine said, "Oh wow, Gary, that sucks." Miss M, I sabotaged myself and had a double chocolate muffin this morning for breakfast. Yeah, yeah, I've done really well. All right, Pam's asking, what did you use? I did 3 days of organic apple juice only for 3 days, then took a horrible amount of sea salt before bed and pooped it all out the next day. LOL. TMI, you're welcome. Oh, we talk about poop on here, Pam. It's just common on my lives. We've had several poop discussions. So, okay. All right. It's an acute adrenal insufficiency. Catherine said it was years ago, Pam. You too, please said agreed, Catherine. Pam said same, girl. Miss M's like pink poop emoji. I didn't know they had a pink poop emoji. Oh, Kelly, I sabotage whenever someone is offering chocolate. Chocolate. You know, I guess my kryptonite would be ice cream. And I think I dreamed about eating ice cream last night. Would that be considered a using dream? Gary, can you answer that? Is that a using dream? Because I dreamed about eating ice cream. Pam said, I need to jump off trying to edit. LOL. Maybe I'm sabotaging my channel. My computer keeps doing this blink thing. No buffering, just blinking. So you have a good evening, Pam. Glad you hopped in for a little while. Gary said, or maybe that's just me. So Miss M says, bye, Pam. She's telling Catherine good night. So, yes. So it's so easy to sabotage. And I don't think necessarily, okay, Kelly. So say someone come in and they offered you a piece of chocolate and you decided to eat one piece of chocolate and the rest of the day you did good and you were right back on it the next day. I don't consider that sabotage. So Gary said, if chocolate or ice cream were a person, my marriage would be in trouble. Yeah. So Catherine's laughing too. You too, please. I guess I should point out it would have to be a woman. We get the jest, Gary. Teacher said, so true. Sometimes that's the case. To me, sabotage is when you all right. So say I was tired and I'm not going to work out today. I'm going to take the day off. So I didn't. And then the next day it was like, oh, I'm too busy today. And then the next day. And then uh, I think, well, I should work out. And then I don't. To me, that's sabotage. Um, but when I um, know that I'm committed and I've made the decision, and then I have to think about my why. Do I want, you know, uh, we retire. When we think about retirement, you think, I'm going to retire and I'm going to travel. Well, if you don't keep your muscles strong and you don't keep in shape, you won't be able to do that because you can't walk to go do things when you travel. Can you put your carry-on bag in the overhead baggage? Can you get through an airport yourself? I know that they have help and stuff. So you get help through the airport and then you get to France and everyone you're with is going to go on this thing and um, you can't go because you can't walk that far. And there's not access to a wheelchair. So, you know, So I have to think about my why. I mean, I'm not into travel, but I do travel. I still travel and speak at conferences, and I have to travel by myself. And I have to be able to navigate that and then get there. And I'm at a conference and I have to be able to get around and, and then I speak for an hour. Can I stand for an hour? And I know there's allowances and stuff for that, but I want to stay mobile. And then I got a grandson that's 9 years old and I want to be able to do stuff with him. So, Cheryl said, taking yourself out of what God has called you to do. We want to stay in our comfort zone. We do. Kelly said, my goal is to stay strong as I age. And that's it. It sure is it, Kelly. And I'm glad that I consistently did strength training when I was your age because it makes a difference now. Even though I lost so much muscle mass the year before I had my hip replaced, and during that, and there were so many things, I lost a lot of muscle. But because I already had some good muscle tone, because your muscle has memory, it's easier to build it back. So you're never too young to start. Miss Sally, hello. How are you this evening? Kelly said, my aunt is 80 and traveling all over the world. I want to be like her when I grow up. Me too, me too. Everyone's saying hello to Sally. What'd Gary say? Okay, Gary said, I'm an amazing specimen of masculinity. I'm sure I can maintain my abilities. Mm-hmm. You just think that. You think that. I don't know how old you are, but you just think that. Oh, thanks. Thank you, Sally. Sally said, I'm much better since I saw you, Rhonda. Was this a schedule live? I scheduled it this morning. You're 61. All right. Okay. I'm 72. And some people have trouble keeping up with me and they're in their 40s. So, anyway, yeah, Sally, I sat down and I tried to work out a schedule to try to do more lives because to be able to hit the watch time hours I am going to have to do more lives. One a week is not enough for me to get those hours. So there's, uh, is it Brandon and Ash or the Traveling Whitcombs? I'm trying to remember people's names. Welcome in, welcome in. So, oh, all right. Shh. Don't tell anybody about Sally. Oh, the Whitcombs are saying hi to Catherine. YouTube, please saying hi to them. Kelly said, go, Rhonda. Simply Debbie Sue saying hi to the Whitcombs. So great. You already lost the challenge. Oh, Sally. I couldn't stay off YouTube for a week. I might can do it for a day or two. So, oh, Sally said, Lori and I were just talking about how I self-sabotage all the time. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Can you make a commitment to yourself? You decide, make the commitment, and then can you, stick with your commitment to yourself and not sabotage it. Kelly said, I couldn't either. I don't know. And there's times to where I know I can't be on here as much as others, but oh, so get YouTube, please. LOL. I'm actually considering leaving YouTube, but I do this every few months anyhow. Me too, Gary. I think everyone does. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. but I don't mean it. Sally said, I do really well. And then in the back of my head, I say, you don't deserve this. So, yeah. And that's what happens. It's our thinking creeps back in, and then our behavior follows that. So when you think that, then your behavior is like, oh, well. So, see, Gary, that's the trade off. He said it eats up so much of my time, but it keeps me sane. It does. I think it does. I don't watch TV, and the reason I like to watch YouTube is I can pick and choose what I watch, and I can filter out the negative stuff. So anyway, okay. YouTube Please said, for the time being, I am thinking I will discontinue the live streams, maybe do a few long format videos. Yeah, yeah. Sally said, Gary, I thought that I could stay away easily for 7 days. I thought that's no problem. 7 days. That's a long time, Sally. Really, if you think about it. M says, I'm still here just listening. Catherine said, stinking thinking, preachers used to say. Oh, yeah, I got some stinking thinking. So Kelly said, it's more personal. You get to know the people you watch. You do. And you want to catch up on their lives. So Gary said, I don't watch TV either. They've gotten too condescending over the last few years. Yeah. And, the video that I made the other day about fear is there's so many commercials that use fear tactics. And I'm like, I'm boycotting that. Whitcomb said, Sally D, Teacher Kelly, great to see you both. And Sally's asking why. Why do we do that? I think it's because somewhere down we don't think we're worth it. Or, like I was talking about, the reason that I used to sabotage myself is I made a commitment that's too big that I'm just not going to do. Like you should have said, I'll commit to 3 days off of YouTube, or 3.5 days. 7 days is, so. Whitcomb says, Rhonda, I'm in the middle of Jen's playlist now. When I'm done, I'll start yours. I'm going to run yours maybe later this evening or tomorrow. I like to run them when I can check on them and make comments and that sort of thing. Kelly said hi to the traveling Whitcombs. YouTube, please. It's like they have an agenda they're trying to push. Yeah, well, and there's fear tactics. Miss M said, always say that I'm not worth it. And who says that we aren't worth it? I'm a woman of faith, and I believe I have worth because, I'm anointed and valued by God. So Catherine said, even on YouTube, unless you have premium, worth it to not see commercials. True. Sally said, so what you're saying, Rhonda, is that I'm kind of normal in the fact that I think I'm not worth it when I'm doing really well. Could be, Sally, but some of it may, did you really think you could go 7 days off of YouTube? I mean, yeah, I could take a break and not make content or put content up, but to not go on and watch YouTube? Mm-mm. So Miss M said, maybe I am worth it. You are worth it. So Whitcomb said, I appreciate that. Thank you. No rush. Yes, there is a rush. We have 5 months, 5.5 months. Urgency. Oh, yay, I'm kind of normal. Wait, I don't want to be normal. Hey, Sally, normal's the setting on your dishwasher. What is normal for you is what is normal. Okay? So, Miss M said, I have YouTube Premium. That's great. That's great. Catherine said, you deserve the best, Sally. Yes, you do. 7 minutes with Cheryl. It's believing a lie. That's why it's important to renew your mind with the word of God. So true, Cheryl, because I think Satan uses that stuff. If he can't make us bad, he'll make us busy, distracted, or down on ourselves. So Kelly said, true, true. Debbie Sue said, right, Cheryl. Keep in mind the Pareto principle. 20% of your efforts will result in 80% of your results. So true. So true. Teacher Kelly said, who needs watch hours? Let's help our friends before February. I need watch hours. I was like 40 away from the first tier, 3,000. And then, the video I have that has the most views, I released last year, and those hours are coming off. And so now I am about 60 hours away from the 3,000 mark. So anyway, Catherine said, I desperately do, Kelly. I barely have 300, I think. Just keep making those videos. Do the lives. Catherine, I wish when I was early on, I had done more lives. I didn't start doing my lives. So when did I start doing the lives? I don't know. I've been on YouTube over 3 years. So, okay, there you go. There's some people. Cheryl is your email on your description of your channel. So, and vice versa. You're right, Gary. Kelly said, I would not be monetized if 8,000 watch hours were required. I've never even come close. Don't put that out there. Don't put that out there, Kelly. I mean, I'm on a kick about the power of our words. Debbie Sue said, I don't need watch hours, but trying to help anybody else. I have gin playing. No, but Rhonda, I can play yours tomorrow. Catherine, then yours. Okay. Gary, I know I'm vain that way. CL said, I have to go. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for hopping in, CL. Glad you were here. Woodcombs, Catherine, I have you written down to watch after Rhonda. Miss M, I don't have enough videos to make a playlist yet. So Sally said, I need to find something out because I'm very confused. If you're monetized, how many hours do you need each year? And I don't know if they've changed that, but they've made it better. You have to have 1,000 watch time hours a year to keep your monetization. So, and I think that is something that's been changed because it used to be you had to maintain those 4,000 hours over a year. Okay. Cheryl said, let's recognize the behavior, uncover the lie, replace it with God's truth. Then we change our behavior. After that, we can walk in freedom. Sometimes easier said than done. It really is. And I think that focus on the positive behavior and not fighting the old behavior. I would go on an all-out war against, my overeating or eat whatever, instead of focusing on eating the healthy stuff. And when I changed that, and then we get to focusing, so it's just like the watch time hours. If you focus on the results, nothing will change. But you focus on making a few changes and you will get results. And I'm a firm believer in that. And small, consistent changes reap huge benefits. Huge benefits. So anyway, Whitcombs is asking Sally if she needs help. Stay active. So if you're monetized, you only have to get 1,000 hours in a 365-day period to keep your monetization. And of course you have to, the other requirements, you upload so many videos in 90 days and all of that. And we're talking about long form videos. The shorts, they just, I mean, I don't even, they really did that. So they've never demonetized anybody for not keeping up 4,000 watch hours. They may have used it to get rid of a channel they didn't like, but that's another story. Kelly said, I'm not monetized, and they did not take away my monetization when I went under 4,000, and I've been below that for a year. Yeah. Well, somebody reiterated today that I heard that it's 1,000. You have to get 1,000 watch time hours in a year in 365 days. So that's what I heard, Sally. And I was glad to hear that. To get 1,000 hours is, it's not really that difficult over a year. Now, so I got to do that in 6 months, but also still have hours coming off, which is the problem. YouTube Police said, I know a lot of folks that didn't keep up 4K watch hours for a year. Yeah. That's right. That's what I've been saying, Gary. 1,000 watch hours over a year. Sally said, because I know a lot of monetized people that are scurrying around trying to get people to watch their videos. And I was wondering why they were doing that, because you don't need them other people. It's fear, Sally. Everyone's went into an uproar. I mean, the day that came out, you couldn't hardly do anything on YouTube because everyone was on there freaking out. So Kelly said, I'm at 1873 for the past year. Sally said, need them more. Gary said, you're right. Well, Catherine said, I know I went into an uproar, LOL. If I had very few watched hours and thinking that I had to get 8,000, I would have freaked out too. But I looked at it February 1st. It's 6 months, a little less than 6 months. And, I think that's very obtainable to hit that 4,000 goal because, I'm just going to have to work, double down, do the work. So Kelly said, I think it's the people who are not monetized yet that are close are the ones trying to get the hours. I don't blame them. This is true. Hi, Mike, Adventure Sparks. Welcome in. So you missed the talk about poo. It was earlier. So everyone's saying hello to Mike. Mike's saying hello to Debbie Sue. 4K is doable. Yeah, it is. I mean, and this time last year, it was like, I thought, man, I'll have this by, way before Christmas at the rate I was going. And then October 1st, it was like the calendar turned and and I don't know what happened. I didn't, really change anything. So, everyone's saying hello to Mike. Mike hopping in at the last minute. We're still hashing over what most of what people on YouTube are talking about is the change in the requirements for monetization. Well, that's true, Gary, but I'm talking about my calendar. On my channel, it was, the graph, it was October 1st. It is a rolling 365 days. It is. And that's what's causing a little bit of on my channel is because I got hours coming off. I've got hours going on, but I also have hours coming off, and I'm going to have to stay real diligent to keep where I'm at because I've got hours coming off. I had several really good videos last year in August and September. And so um, I'm hoping that when school starts, this is whoever they are that say, when school starts, things kind of get into a rhythm, views on YouTube pick up. So, and I guess because people aren't going on vacation and all of the getting ready for school and all that, Whitcomb says, I love that YouTube randomly decided to take away 20 subscribers tonight, right as we were about to hit our 15. Wow. Catherine said, Whitcombs, that's terrible. Sally, Rhonda, let's do a challenge for 7 days. Do a 2-hour live for 7 days. Sally, I can't do 7 days of a 2-hour live. So I thought about maybe going live Saturday and Sunday this week, and it may take that to maintain my hours. And so YouTube police said, I've seen people do 30 days in a row. If you start at 6 a.m., well, I could get on my PJs with my cup of coffee and just, let it rip. I know people that do. I mean, there's people that are live every morning, not just you, that are just on. And morning coffee with Rhonda. Mike says, please do. Kelly said, I would have enough to say for that long. Oh, I could talk that long. Yeah, I know I can. Dora, Exploradora's here. How are you, Miss Exploradora? Oh, I haven't caught any of your stuff this week. Been busy when you're on. So Sally said, I can talk that long. Yeah. I can too, Sally. Kelly's saying hi to Dora. Catherine's saying hi to Dora. Sally D, I've had 3-hour live. You've had a 3-hour live? I think the longest I've gone is about 1 hour and 40 minutes. Well, yeah, I think so. You're getting ready to go hiking, Dora? That's great. It's morning there, isn't it? And it's Friday. Dora saying, hiya, Gary. How are you, mate? Good day, mate. Debbie Sue said, hi, Dora. Whitcombs, hi, Dora. Great to see you. Hello, everyone who said hi or didn't say hi. Sally said, remember at Christmas time when we had 100 viewers on my live? I sure do, Sally. I'm texting you. There's 100 people in your live. And you're going, no, they're not. It took you 2 hours just to say hello to everybody. That's funny. Oh, Gary said, I did a 24-hour live stream, gained about 800 watch hours from it. 24 hours? Did you stay up that long? You only did it once. Yeah. Well, that would be great. That would just about do me. It was flying, Sally. You did stay up that long. Well, what if I did two 12-hour lives? I could do that. I don't do well when I lose my sleep. And they called you at the end to come in. That would be my luck. Yeah. I'd say go for it. Well, who knows? See how long I could stay on live. You can do 12-hour lives. It was not a happy camper that day. You were more than hangry, huh? Yep. More than hangry, that's for sure. Well, I know that you know, um, longer lives you get really good watch time hours. So and I don't know. I know people that do live and then they'll put up a thing and they'll take a break and just leave the live on and then come back. And so hello, Kimberly. How are you this evening? Let's do it. It would be fun. We could do a live together. My new phone would stay charged that long. So anyway, Kelly's saying hi to Kimberly. Yeah, my new iPhone, it stays charged for 2 days. It's great. We could get co-host. Yeah. Kimberly said, "Hey Rhonda, I'm okay." Well, I think the thing. Hello, little sweet Pam's here. The other Pam was here for a while. Oh, you says this is great. I'm watching in the car as we drive to see my brother. Wanted to say hello at least. Thank you, Pam. So you too, please. LOL. I once left a live going and put on the old live playing on it. When I got up in the morning, I had somebody in the basement waiting to be brought up into the panel. That would be the thing, to have a long live and use, like the ones where you could call people up and the ones that people that I've done that with have StreamYard, to where you have your live and then you have different people come on and talk to them and I think that makes the time go by. And then it's not just you talking the whole time. I can't imagine talking for 12 hours. So Gary said, I was using StreamYard, but I think the same thing could be done with OBS. Yeah. Pam saying hi to the Whitcombs. Kelly's, I do a lot of live interviews. Yeah. I think that would be great too. I know Sally does that, and I've done a couple of interviews, but I didn't do them live. I recorded them. And so the 24-hour lives did have panels, makes it a lot easier. Yeah, I think it would make it easier to do a longer stream live when you do have, a panel or so Catherine, spouse wife said, yes, Catherine, I'd watch 3 guys cutting. Lori, hello, Lori. I watched all your videos. They were great. It's good to see you back on the YouTube streets. She says, hello, Rhonda and chat. I feel like I've come home. Hope everyone is well. Sally said, you're the one that said 2 12-hour lives. I did, Sally. I can't imagine doing a 24-hour live. Me either, Jen. So Catherine Kimberly, would you? Sally said, we could do 43-hour lives. Anyway, Miss Jen said, welcome home, Lori. Catherine said, what about gravel guys, Kimberly? Catherine's going to make all these videos about guys cutting their trees, clearing their property, gravel in their driveway, all of that. It's your life, Catherine. Isn't it life after 60 for you? So Kelly says, hi, Lori and Jen. Sally said, Lori, we were just talking about you. We were. Jen says, sup, YouTube, please. Catherine's saying hello to Jen. Dora, welcome back, Lori. Debbie Sue, hello, Jen. Hello, Lori. Catherine says, Lori Soul Circle. Yay. Yeah, it's amazing that how much you miss the people that you're used to on here when they've not been on. And so Lori said, hello, DS and Kelly. Debbie Sue. Jen said, hey, Branton. You're saying hello to Brandon. Hey, Jen, great to see you. I have you playing still on the laptop. Love that, Branton. Cheryl. See, you've been on an hour, Rhonda. Does it feel like it? No, it doesn't. But when I do it in the evening after I've worked all day, I start getting tired and I feel get draggy because I've talked all day or listened all day. And so Lori Soul Circle said, hi, Brandon and Ash. It's really good to see you. Do you have a new nickname? Boy, I have some catching up to do. Jen said, Sally. Debbie Sue said, Lori sent you out something Monday. Mike said, Lori Soul Circle, hello. So good to see you back in the chat. Mike said hello to Jen. Jen said the nickname was only created last night on Scott's Live. Oh, the Whitcombs on Scott's Live last night. We decided our couple names would be Branton. Is that Brandon and Ashley together? Sally said, I'm here too, Mike. Jen said, hey, Mikey. Mikey likes it. Hello, Mikey. Lori said, Mike, we have some catching up to do. Yes, lots of catching up. So Kimberly said, you trying to get your watch hours before the increased requirements, Rhonda? You bet I am. I am going to get it. I'm going to get it. So I have a plan. I sat down, made a plan. I am got some ideas for some videos, and I'm just going to go for it. So Lori said, I will keep my eyes open, Debbie Sue. I can't wait. So Kimberly said, I'm glad. Woohoo! Sally, I have a question. Sally said, Kimberly, Rhonda and I are going to co-host 4 12-hour lives. Yes, Lori put out 3 videos. She's not on all summer, and then she puts out 3 videos in one day. Yay. So anyway, way to go, Lori. I don't know. I've checked my mail every day, Sally, and I have not got nothing. I do not know what's up. I know you told me to check my mail. Jim said, Sally, I know you would love spending 12 hours with your YouTube family. Kimberly said, okie dokie, Sally. Cheryl said, I'd not be able to keep that commitment at all, Sally. Yeah, I think that's, I don't know, a little much for me. Sally said, Jenny, I've done a 3-hour live before. Lori said, hi, Catherine, you're on my list to come over for a visit. Yes. Got to catch up with Catherine. We've been busy over here in the YouTube streets. So, but we've missed you a lot. Anyway, see, it's kind of like, well, Lori said, hey, Cheryl, good to see you. Sally, Lori, you're going to love Catherine. Oh, Lori doesn't know Catherine? Oh, she's in for a treat. So, yes. So, and and that's kind of what we're, talking about as far as, it's like made a commitment to finish out the year really strong and get my hours. And to do that, I have to have a plan. And so I sat down and I looked at a plan and I kind of worked on some things. So that's what. Okay, Catherine says, Sally told me I'd love you, Lori. I did sub and watched one video. Lori said, it's nice to be missed. That's right, Lori, and we did. I did. I missed you. So Kimberly said, Rhonda, I watched all the Detox videos already. Thank you. Lori said, Rhonda, are you close? Um, I'm struggling to keep the hours I have. I got real close to 3,000, but I have some heavy hitters from last year that the hours are coming off. And so I have dropped back down to 2,838 as of today. And so um, I'm going to swing by Allie's live to say hi. Rhonda, you're on my list to listen to all your videos. I see you have a master playlist, so I'll start at your oldest ones. Yeah. Kelly said, I missed you, Lori. Your videos are so insightful. They sure are. Lori's videos are great. So, and it was so funny. I don't know if you saw my comment, Lori, but the video that I recorded the day you released your videos, I recorded a video about fear. So Sally said, Lori, you have to watch Don't Let the Old Woman In. Yeah, that was my one last year that's coming off right now. It has 5,000 views, which, for some of these channels, they talk about, well, I went viral and I have 300,000 views. I'm like, okay, my virals are 4 or 5,000. But that one still gets watched. So it's been my most watched video. And I'm just going to keep making content and doing what I do because I'm still having fun doing YouTube. And my reason is still to help people. And so as long as I'm doing that, then I'm going to keep doing it. So, yes, Lori said, thank you, Kelly. I appreciate you saying that. Yes, her videos are very insightful. And it's, I sometimes think we're on the same wavelength. Catherine, I need to go. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Bye, Catherine. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I know that Allie's Fishing with Allie is live, and some of y'all do watch her. So, I've been on here over an hour, and I've had a long day, and I really appreciate every one of you coming in and spending a little bit of your evening with me. It's been fun. I miss doing lives. I have been really busy lately, so but I wouldn't have it any other way because I really do thrive when I'm busy. 10 more minutes. She does not fish live. On her lives, she talks about her fishing and her lures. Um, I might hop in there for a little bit, but it starts getting late. And by the time I take my dogs out for their evening romp and get stuff ready for my next day and all of that, and then it's time for me to go to bed. So um, I dogs. You have more than one. I have 2 dogs, Lori. Is someone asking me about my dogs? I have 2. I have a big dog. I don't know where she's at. She's laying over there. Then I have the little dog. Kimberly says I'm supposed to be sleeping already. I'm surprised Cheryl's still up. She goes to bed pretty early. Of course, what do you have to be to work at 8 o'clock and you have to leave? How long does it take you to drive to work, Cheryl? My little guy. You haven't seen my big girl? Well, there's a really good shot of her in my July recap. Sally said we were watching Devil Wears Prada 2 or whatever it's called, and Daryl fell asleep. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, my little guy's right here, Lori. He's always just right here. Yeah, there he is. He's always right here. And it's funny. One of those detox videos I did, he was snoring up a storm, and I was like, I watch it back when I get it posted and everything. Then I watch it and I do my comment, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't notice Scooter was was snoring. Where's Cheryl? Did Cheryl tell us 5 more minutes? Cheryl said, walk at 5 a.m. You walk at 5 a.m. and then when you come home, get ready for work, you leave and drive. You were driving this morning in that live we were in. Sally said, Cheryl, that's a perfect time to walk. Well, it'd have to be, I mean, here at 5 a.m., it's 80 degrees. So it's still 102 degrees here right now, 7:30. It was 105 degrees today. We've been having some hot weather, hot and dry. Well, I get out and walk at work for about 10 minutes. I do that twice during the day. Cheryl said, I have your playlist on when I walk. That's great. Thank you so much for anyone that's watching my content. That was one of the things, those things that you're stinking thinking will tell you, who's going to watch my stuff? Who's going to watch me? I don't have anything to say. I mean, I do, but it's not that important. Who's going to watch me? So, oh, thanks, Kelly. She says, I'm going to bed now. I will put a playlist on to play overnight. Thanks, Kelly. I appreciate it. And I think that's why I have really enjoyed the rebounding is it doesn't take as much time and it is not hot in my house. So everyone's saying goodnight to Kelly. And Sally said, it is true that you have to have the volume up whenever you watch a playlist or it doesn't count. I don't know how they can tell if you have the volume up or not. Good night, all. I've heard that, Sally. And then I think, too, make comments. Sally said it's 80 degrees right here. I think it's 80 here right now. Yeah, leave it up just a little bit. It's 100. My watch says it's 102. 102 degrees. So, that's so I don't even know when it gets below 100. Yeah, I don't know. The YouTube, please. And it's not Gary. There's Dinah. I don't know. She won't get. She's such a good girl. She won't jump up on me where you could see her. So anyway. Big Brother's watching, or is it Alexa? It's the Chupacabra or Sasquatch. Mike knows about the Sasquatch. So anyway, I yeah, I've heard that. But I think they get real testy if you're monetized about the playlist stuff. So YouTube is like protecting their money. Yeah, he probably did, Sally. Yeah. So one more minute and I made it 10 minutes. All right, just for you, Sally. You like to push me, don't you? Don't you? Don't you? But you know, when I decide. Lori said, so you got, no, I didn't. Lori, I didn't get monetized. I got about 40 hours from the first tier of 3,000 hours. And then, because I've been on YouTube for 3 years, the videos that were 366 days ago, those hours come off. And so I lost hours because that most watched video, those hours are coming off right now. And so, nope, no, I never was monetized. 7 minutes with Cheryl said, my question was, does Allie fish while doing her live? No, Cheryl, she does not fish while she does her live. She does her live and talks about fishing and shows fishing lures. So Sally said, I think she did 1 or 2 lives while she was fishing. Did she? Has she done? I haven't seen any of those. Mike said, has anybody tried to cook bratwurst in the air fryer? First for me. I have not tried to cook anything like that. Is it pre-cooked or is it not cooked? Look it up. Google YouTube. Look it up on YouTube and ask how to cook bratwurst in the air fryer, Mike. No, Mike is very busy trying to cook supper. You want me to look it up for you, Mike? I asked ChatGPT. What did ChatGPT say? You cook it at this temperature for this amount of time, flip it once. You leave ChatGPT on just to have somebody to talk to. Cheryl said you can cook anything in the air fryer as in the oven. Yep. Okay, I went over the 10 minutes, Sally. Yep. There was a lull there for a little bit. It wasn't much conversations. And now there is. So anyway. Yep. Let's do another 10 minutes. It's time for me to start shutting it down for the evening. My dogs they've done left me because they know. They know. Cheryl says good night for me. And I think that I probably need to go let my dogs outside. Because you know what they do when you don't do that, Sally? I know you talk about it on your lives. They will do the little puddle in the flow. And that's not a good thing. So I'm glad y'all all joined me this evening. I hope y'all have a great evening. I so appreciate your support. And it was fun. It was real. And it was fun. And it was real fun. So, all right. Make sure when y'all hit the like, the little thumbs up. And I will see y'all on Saturday.